Welcome back, welcome back. I am the Amadeus the Great. Welcome. I got an important lesson for you guys here. Important information. Really get in. Come here. I got something important to tell you. So, in my last video, I talked a little bit about the subconscious mind, and I didn't really go into depth towards it. I didn't really talk too much about it, but I wanted to really take some time with this video and talk to you on your superpower. You are engineered for success. If only you would believe it, you are engineered for success. And we'll get into the topic today. But before we jump into the topic, I am the Amadeus the Great, and I'm on a mission to help men become the best version of themselves. Feel free to like, subscribe, and hit that, get in there, because I want to know if this content's helping. I want to know if it's having an impact, and I want to hear from you guys. Feel free to reach out, because I want to give out information without gatekeeping. Also, feel free to follow me on IG at the Amadeus the Great. So let's jump into this topic. Your superpower, the power of the subconscious mind. So a lot of the nuances I'm going to give you guys comes from a book called Psycho-Cybernetics, and you should get yourself a copy of it. It talks about how your brain is a servo mechanism. What is a servo mechanism? Servo mechanism is just a fancy word for kind of like a rocket guided missile. So think about it like this. And basically, when you give your brain a goal, it goes and hits the target. So imagine a rocket guided missile. You give your brain the goal or the destination that you want, and it goes and it makes adjustments in the air as it goes and it hits its target. Your brain works exactly the same way. So the way your brain works, and this is why when I say your brain, I'm talking about the subconscious mind. So when the way your subconscious mind works, you can either give it a goal or give it an idea of what the goal you want, and it'll start to move you forward towards the goal. So what does that mean for you? So before I get into that, I want to explain the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. So if you've been on IG, or honestly, if you've been online in content and you've been in this kind of space, you've seen a picture of an iceberg. And in the iceberg, you usually see a piece of it pointing out of the water. And the pointing out part of the water equals 5% the conscious mind, right? The ego, the person you are that thinks, I think, therefore I am, right? And underneath the water, there's the big part of your glacier, of your iceberg, where in our last video, if you really think about it, your inner world creates your outer world. So that it's the hidden part that is not seen. I'm gonna say that again. It is the hidden part that's not seen, which is the 95% subconscious mind. So most of us we only have conscious awareness about 5%. Everything else is in the back of our minds. The subconscious mind is always working, always active. In Atomic Habits, it talks about type 1 and type 2 for your brain, right? It's the fast and slow, which is the instinctual, the subconscious mind, and then the fast, which is the instinctual, the subconscious mind, the slow, which is the conscious mind that has to think, that has to compute, which requires a lot of mental work. You feel mentally drained. In our school system, they really taught us about the conscious mind, thinking, really thinking, consciously, being neurotic about things, constantly overthinking. But your true power comes from the subconscious mind. It's the instinct. You are the 95. Like, think about it. You're the 95%, not the 5%. So why are we focusing so much on the 5%? Right? So when you focus on the 5%, you actually jam up the machine, the 95%. But I say this for the icebergers to really give you a good understanding of this. If you're 95% subconscious, but most of us only focus on the conscious part of ourselves and not the subconscious, not the inner world, then most of us are actually not really reaching our true potential. In Psycho-Cybernetics, it talks about how every animal basically runs on instinct, right? They have a subconscious mind just like us. They don't have a conscious mind, right? They can't think, therefore I am. They cannot think. So, but every animal is engineered to be successful in their environment. They're engineered to go and hunt. They're engineered to learn and grow, and they are naturally inclined to become whatever they're meant to become. A squirrel's meant to be a squirrel. Squirrel knows when winter comes, it's supposed to stow away nuts. A bird knows to fly soft during winter because it's subconsciously ingrained in them to be successful and to thrive and to live. Every human being is born with that. The only difference between us and the animals is we get to decide how we use our subconscious mind. A lot of us use it ineffectively Because they don't understand how the subconscious mind is always working for them. So in my last video, I talked about the law of attraction, law of vibration. You really want to tap into that and understand everything's connected. Everything I'm saying, everything's connected. So the subconscious mind determines who you are, not your conscious. The conscious directs it. So you want to think about it, and I think in my first video I talk about the jockey and the horse analogy, where you want to think of your conscious mind as the jockey controlling the horse. The horse is the 95%. It's the power. That's the energy. But if you, the jockey, are not controlling your horse will just go wherever its emotions are taking it. Go wherever it sees water, it's gonna go drink some water. It's hungry, it's gonna go eat. It wants to have sex, it's gonna have sex. That's just how it works, right? So what you need to understand is like you're built kind of in the same way, and you can engineer yourself to be successful. A lot of us think too much. That really is the problem. A lot of us think too much. I'm an overthinker. I think too much. I don't act. But I've learned to control and discipline my mind and my body so that I can start to act in my best interest. A lot of us don't act in our best interest because the way that we've directed our subconscious mind. So why am I saying this? It's important because it's so important to do the internal work, because internally you have to understand the brain cannot tell the difference between what is imagined and what is real. So if you see a bear in the forest, you're gonna run away. You're not gonna think about it. You're just gonna run away because your instincts kick in. You've seen it. But if you see from a far distance a plastic bag that looks like a bear, you're still gonna run away. Why? Because you imagined it to be a bear. But then you realize it's just a plastic bag, right? So why is that important? Okay, it's very important because your subconscious mind is instinctual. It doesn't know the difference between things. Your conscious mind knows the difference between things. Because your brain isn't, because you are more, you got to learn how to train your instincts for success. Get to a place where in your life where you don't have to think, you just act. And at the beginning of learning any new skill, you're gonna suck at it, right? People get good by training their subconscious mind. They train their instincts. Imagine you when you first learn how to drive a car. You weren't good at it. There was a lot of things you had to do. You had to check your mirror, change your seat, adjust everything. And it was a little clunky. It's a little funky. But after 2, 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years of driving, there's a lot of things you don't think about when you're driving anymore. Why? Because it got ingrained into your instincts. It got ingrained into your subconscious mind. Okay, so if you can learn how to drive a car, you can learn how to ride a bike, because that, right, same process. You can learn how to do anything. You just need to train your subconscious mind to allow you to do all those things. Okay, how do you train your subconscious mind? Well, conscious mind, right, the one that's present, you right now, you get to dictate what gets into the subconscious mind. A lot of the times, we choose the wrong things because we are taught how to think incorrectly. Depending on your upbringing. Some of them are taught how to think fine. And understanding that not all things, not all traumas, not all internal beliefs are bad. The bad ones are the ones that stop you from getting the things that you want, the things that you think about, the things that you know would drive your heart, right? And I say this because you've gained a lot of experiences from friends, family, schools that have told you how to live, how to think, how to do things, and some of them don't align with you. You feel off. You feel the energy is off inside of you. It's because it doesn't align with what you consciously want. And so you have some bad programs in your subconscious mind. And so, but because you believe them, right? Listen, because you believe them, your subconscious mind doesn't care. It's going to give you whatever you told it to give it. And so if you're getting a result in your life that you don't like, it's because you have trained your subconscious to give yourself that result. That's simple. So if you want a new result, what do you got to do? You got to change your subconscious. How do you change your subconscious? Kind of goes back to one of my other videos. You got to change your actions. You got to change the way you think. And you got to change the way you feel. You got to do those 3 things. So how do you do that? You just got to do a lot of internal work. And that really, it's, everybody's case by case. I'm not going to hold you. Everybody needs a little bit different, unique perspective, unique handling, unique care, and you're going to have to figure it out on your own. My job is to give you that information to help you. Now, I can tell you what's worked for me, But without knowing you, without knowing your specific mind, without knowing your specific experiences, I can't help you with that. You're gonna have to figure those things out. One of the first things is to start journaling so that you can start being aware of some of your subconscious programs. Start breaking them down, and you have to stop them. It's your job to stop them and create new programs that lead you to success. Because remember, your subconscious mind is created for you to be successful. I'm saying that again. Your conscious mind is created to be successful. Now, what does success mean to you? That's what your conscious mind decides. So if you believe that you're a failure, your subconscious mind is going to say, got you, bro. Going to put that order in. I'm going to make sure you know that you're a failure. If you believe that you're successful in some action, activity, something, then it's going to do the same thing. So in the book Psycho-Cybernetics, the author breaks it down into two things. You have a success mechanism and you have a failure mechanism. And the failure mechanism focuses on the things that you don't want. And so it's going to give it to you. It's always working. Just understand that it's always working. Or you have the success where the things you do want, and it's going to work towards that too. You as an individual have these experiences. You have gone through this experience yourself. You have these things that are internalized that give you some of the things that you want and some of the things that you don't want. So if you want to start taking more control, more ownership, you need to start training yourself for those things. As you and guys, when you're learning a new habit, when you're learning something new, it sucks at the beginning because you're not used to it. But understand the process of learning. The process of learning requires you to suck at the beginning. In order to become a master, you must be a fool. So if you want to become a master, you got to just be a fool. Fake it till you make it. Or practice till it's natural, right? Whatever belief that you tell yourself. It's unique. It's individual to you as everyone. The beauty about this world is you get to decide your future. You get to decide how you live your life. But also understand that you live in a society where you must follow the laws. Right? There's some things you can't do. And I'm talking to the people who have some of those repressed desires, right? But as long as it falls within the scope of the law, in my opinion, go and do it. As long as you're not hurting somebody else in the process, go and do it. Whatever helps you be the best version of yourself to give you the best experience of life, go and do it, right? My job here is to help you find out who are you at your best self? Who are you when you're living life to its fullest? Because for a long time, I didn't live life to the fullest. For a long time, I was afraid, sad, hurt, felt like no one understood me. And honestly, I've grown out of that. I've learned to expand the idea of me. And the only way I was able to do that is by training my mind, my body, and my spirit. I hit the gym daily. Why? Because I need to train my body to follow my instructions. The days I don't want to hit the gym, I still go. Why? Because my body follows me. I do not follow my body. I do not serve my body. Understand that. My mind follows me. I don't follow every thought that comes into my head. Because why? I decide my thoughts. I, as a human being, have free will. I have choice. You have choice to create life in the way that you want. You are the captain of your ship. And so, as the captain, you must decide where your ship is going. And not only that, you must take care of your ship. How do you feel steering a ship that has holes in it if you're not maintaining it? You're not going to last very long. Because longevity is the game, guys. And understanding that change doesn't happen in the short term, it happens in the long term. Don't think about getting to where you need to go within a year. Think about it within 5 years. Who could you become if you're building the habit? Who can you become if you're building a habit in 10 years? Who can you become if you're building a habit in 15 years? It really depends on you. So, honestly, I think that's it for this topic and really wanted to harp on the subconscious mind. Get yourself a copy of The Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. Great book. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out, send some comments. Like I said, my G is at the Amadeus the Great with 2 E's, THEE, Amadeus the Great. And I want to have conversations. If you want to join our men's group and want to learn how you can start improving, and this is a lot of information, it's overwhelming. Learning something new, it's going to be overwhelming. Then feel free to reach out. I'm here for you. I want you to be successful. Success is your birthright, and I'll see you at the top. Young blood, what? I'll see you at the top. You got this. I believe in you.